Cowboys Nation, buckle up because this is the kind of move that can change everything for our playoff run. I'm not talking about a rumor. I'm not talking about a maybe. I'm talking about a real opportunity to land a veteran difference maker who fits exactly what this defense needs. Someone who can step in right now and instantly raise the floor of this entire unit. And honestly, if the Cowboys pull the trigger here, this could be the signing that saves the season. This could be the move that stabilizes the back end, finally brings some physicality, and gives Dallas a real fighting chance the rest of the way. Before we dive into the details, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, and if you love the Dallas Cowboys the way I do, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're pushing hard to hit 12,000 subscribers, and every single one of y'all matters. Let's hit that milestone together, Cowboys Nation. Alright, let's talk about the move that Jerry Jones should not hesitate to make.
Felt like a home game here in Dallas, and they could use all the support, all the wind in their sails as the Cowboys honor their fallen teammate, Marshawn Nealon. Dallas players wearing stickers in his honor. Shout out the Raiders for the 988 on the back of the warm-up T-shirts that they were wearing. Leading 6-3. This is CeeDee Lamb on the receiving end after he and George Pickens didn't play the first series, which was a team decision. We'll get to that in a minute. And then it's the next Cowboy drive. Prescott to Lamb, gain of 23 after Lamb broke a tie with Dez Bryant on the touchdown catch earlier. He is climbing the list of all-time great Cowboy receivers. There's Jake Ferguson, who continues to be a touchdown scoring machine. Max Crosby did all he could, but this Raider team's just very limited. Raiders trying to drive late in the half to get back in it. Geno Smith's pass is tipped by Kenneth Murray Jr. Marquise Bell gets the pick. And Cowboy defense helping the offense. Ensuing Cowboys drive. Do they have enough time to do something? How about this? It's Pickens. Puts his foot in the ground. Puts his foot in the ground again. Pickens and Lamb had 156 yards receiving in the first half, second most in any half this season. They lit up Washington earlier this year in October, so they lead 24-9 at the break. Third quarter, same score, not for long. How about a 9-catch, 144-yard night for Pickens, who very nearly, after he slips this one right here, thought he might continue down the sidelines, but they would eventually make their way to the end zone. It's Prescott, Ryan Flournoy, 4 touchdown passes for Dak, and the Cowboys in complete control. It's 31-16, and the Raiders hand off to Ashton Jeanty, who's got the lowest rate of yards per contact in the NFL. Like, it's basically a yard point for before contact, right? And here is, he basically gets hit as soon as he gets the football. That is a safety, and the Cowboys come on the road and get an emphatic victory as they honor Marshawn Nealon. And Ryan Clark is with me, and Ryan, we had a 2-hour countdown as we do every week, and we try to balance the fun and setting the table for a game because that's what we had, and yet it was framed entirely differently tonight because after Dallas played on Monday night at home and had a bye, they lost a teammate in the middle, and it's tragic and it's heavy, and they really honored him. And I think Dak, who we just visited with, really set an incredible and emphatic tone. What did you see that impressed you most about how they processed?
Well, I think the first thing was this game didn't start out the way that this team wanted to, right? You saw CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on the sideline. There was a sack fumble from Max Crosby. This is the team that could have imploded, a team that could have said, okay, we didn't play well the last 2 games. We've been going through all of this for the last week and a half and not come out and continue to fight the rest of the game. It was his execution in the zone. It was hitting his wide receivers and giving them opportunities to get yards after the catch, and it was leadership. He said before the game that they were going to play for their brother, that they were blessed and privileged to have that opportunity, and he led that way tonight, and he also played the game in that same sort of manner with that same level of joy.
And I think we understand, you frame it correctly. This Raider team has struggled, and the hill gets much steeper moving forward. But if this defense is going to play like that, it's going to give that offense a chance, I think, to win some football games and at least make them scary to deal with down the stretch.
Well, think about this. Early on in the season, wasn't that what we were asking for from from them, right?
Exactly.
To at least have a competent defensive effort to pair with an offense that can be absolutely explosive.
That's before they had Quinn and Overshawn comes back, who's a difference maker as
Malik
well.
Hooker is back
For
tonight,
him too,
right?
thank you.
Right, you have two young corners who hadn't played the entire year. There were so many players on this defense that Matt Eberflus was missing the entire year.
All right, so you mentioned that Pickens and Lamb on the sidelines to start, and then once they got out there, they were, impactful. That's an understatement. They explained afterwards what the absence was about at the beginning of the game.
George, we were told that you didn't start this game due to a coach's decision. What were you told about why?
I don't think, I feel like certain personnels are built, for the running game. We kind of knew that we could exploit them running-wise, so a lot of heavy personnel.
Man, just stepping up and playing how we play, man. Do what we do. We out there for a reason, and it was fun.
What was the reason for not playing?
I'm not going in depth on that. Honestly, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Okay, so they didn't explain what it was. They were asked questions about why they weren't there. So whether we get any specifics or not, once they were out there, Ryan, they played like what they are, which is one of the very best 1-2 combos.
And Keon Coleman was a healthy scratch for the Buffalo Bills. And he was a healthy scratch because he was late to a meeting. Mm-hmm. When you're as good as George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, there are certain things that you can do that only get you a series that may get other players entire games. And I'm being real.
No, I smile because I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
you got to be. Your talent has to outweigh your problems. That's the saying.
Extraordinary talent gets you extraordinary tolerance. And when you heard what CeeDee Lamb said, when we play, we do what we do. And this is what we've been expecting and have seen in certain moments from these guys. If you can get this throughout the rest of this season and this defense continues to come along, it's just like you said in commercial, Scott. You give yourself a chance in every single game to be competitive.
Troy was quick to correct me when I said it could be reasonable that they could be a playoff team, and he's right. It's going to take a lot. They got to thread the needle. They don't have any wiggle room. But I don't think it's a stretch to say if this defense is going to continue to grow together that they're going to be frightening to play against. Do you share that?
But isn't that that's the point, right? That's where Brian Schottenheimer needs this team to get to. Mm-hmm. People need to be scared to play against the Dallas Cowboys. The Philadelphias, the Los Angeles Rams, those sort of teams need to look at the schedule when the Dallas Cowboys are on there and think to themselves, this is going to be a battle that goes down to the wire. And if you can do that for the rest of the season, that's the type of the level of excitement that you want in your locker room that keeps these guys locked in until the end of the season.
They get a bunch of high-profile home games. They tend to live there around the Thanksgiving time and the late going in the season. We'll see if it continues to be something where they continue to honor their teammate and channel their best. Go ahead.
Two things before we go. Your leadership as we headed into the show was absolutely amazing. The way you set the tone, the conversations we had off air. But also I want to get to Brian Schottenheimer's leadership. What he did these last few weeks and seemingly caring about the people in his locker room over the players. He didn't see those guys as liabilities. He saw them as players. He didn't see them as assets. He saw them as humans. And that's something that goes into a coach's hat that you cannot teach. That's something that man learned. That's something that he was born with. That's something that who he is. And I think a lot of that goes to his father, Marty Schottenheimer, as well.
I agree. We don't move on, but we move forward. I wrote that down and I keep leaning on it because I think what a beautiful way to frame something, a loss that is going to not leave them. I appreciate what you had to say, but you know what this is about. Yeah. I mean, games are fun, but people are what matter to all of us, and hopefully we did our job in honoring this young man. As we continue here,
Jerry Jones said he was going all in for 2024. And yeah, we clowned him for months because nothing happened. But fast forward to the 2025 trade deadline, the man went nuclear. Logan Wilson, one of the smartest and most consistent linebackers in the NFL, Quinnen Williams, a top 5 defensive tackle in football, period. Jerry finally backed up his words with action, but even with those additions, and with DeMarvion Overshown finally returning, the Cowboys still have one glaring weakness: safety, and right on time, a gift dropped into their laps. Veteran safety Quandre Diggs, a 3-time Pro Bowler, a physical, versatile defender, was just released by the Tennessee Titans. Not waived because he was washed. Not cut because he couldn't play. According to reports, he asked for his release. And Tennessee, going into a full youth movement, granted it. This is not a typical free agent. This is a player with 11 years of experience, a proven track record, leadership, physicality, and versatility. Just sitting there. Available today. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And right now, the Cowboys should be sprinting to the phone. Let's be brutally honest here, Cowboys Nation. Dallas cannot stop anyone. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They can't tackle consistently. The numbers are embarrassing. 397.4 yards allowed per game. Second worst in the NFL, 30.8 points allowed per game. Near the bottom of the league, 64 missed tackles, 6th most in the league. This defense gives up chunk plays like they're handing out coupons. And here's the crazy part. Every weakness the Cowboys have right now lines up perfectly with Quandre Diggs' strengths. What Quandre Diggs brings to Dallas Diggs is not just a nice piece. He's exactly what this defense is missing. Elite tackling. He's physical. He takes proper angles. He doesn't whiff in open space. Dallas desperately needs that. Missed tackles are killing this team. Strong coverage skills. Diggs has 24 career interceptions, multiple Pro Bowls, and years of top-tier coverage production. He understands spacing, leverage, and rote concepts better than anyone Dallas has on the back end right now. Run game support. He's one of the best cleanup safeties of his era. When he triggers downhill, he finishes. Versatility, can play strong safety, can play free safety, can drop into the slot, can even rotate down into box looks. Dan Quinn used to crave this type of hybrid player. This defense still needs that DNA. Leadership Diggs is respected around the league. He's a communicator, something Dallas clearly lacks with Malik Hooker on IR and the secondary blowing assignments every week. Imagine this front seven with Quinnen Williams eating double teams, Micah Parsons attacking freely, Logan Wilson directing traffic, Overshown adding speed on the second level, and behind them, a veteran who actually knows how to finish plays. Adding Diggs gives the Cowboys better tackling, better pursuit, better communication, fewer explosive plays, more stability in coverage, and a veteran presence at all 3 levels of the defense. This is not a luxury signing. This is a need signing. The best part? Because Diggs requested his release. He's not coming with a massive price tag. Dallas wouldn't have to give up. Draft picks, core players, long-term cap commitments. This is a cheap, low-risk, high-upside signing, the kind winning teams make in November and December. This is how you build a playoff defense. This is how you fix holes fast. This is how you keep the season alive. Cowboys Nation, I want to hear from you. Should the Cowboys sign Quandre Diggs immediately? Do you think he still has Pro Bowl level play left in the tank? Does he fix the Cowboys' biggest defensive problem? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading all of them. And again, don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, help us hit 12,000 subscribers. I'm Victor. This is Dallas Cowboys Today. And if Jerry wants this team to actually make a playoff push, this is the next move he has to make.